All right, let's begin. To our Twitch viewers, thanks for joining us again this wonderful Sunday afternoon. It's pretty cold out there. Perfect day to stay inside and work on projects. To our YouTube viewers, thanks for joining us and sticking with the video series. We really appreciate it. It's been an interesting ride so far, and so we really appreciate it. So last episode, we started on updating the documentation for the test plan. That way, when we get the new boards and get them built, we can all right. We can start through the testing process rather immediately. That way we could hopefully see if things are going good. So just checking on the status of the PCBs. They're roughly 36% done. Still quite a few steps before they're ready to be shipped out. So still probably the end of next week or the end of this week or somewhere around then. So something to consider. So one of the things we're going to focus on today is finishing or pushing along with the actual revision 2 test plan for the updated board, which will cover new test points, maybe some new processes, because we're going to be, like I said, converting from the markup language to like a Word document, just to make life easier. It's just going to make life easier for us. So let's see here. We have there's our test plan. There we go. Test plan here. So we just got to translate all this to the document format. Make it less wordy. Make it more make it friendlier to follow. And then we also want to get the associated test plan log. So one of the things I guess we could work on too is, because it'd be a little bit easier to kind of pre-fill some of the stuff with the log file. Maybe not. It would definitely be probably. Yeah, actually, it would be. So what we're going to do is kind of update the log file too. So we're going to create a template for that. So we don't have templates. Do we have a test plan? We don't have a test plan log template. And so that's what we're going to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab this directory. We're just going to go ahead and save this and just modify the ever-living crap out of it. QMS templates. Make sure we don't have any weird name. Okay. So we're going to assign this QA. We're going to assign it a document, basically QA-0002, because it's basically a form. Let's plan log template. All right. So now we'll have a template. So since it's going to be a template, revision, serial number. All right. So some of this is going to change because I want to okay. You know what? Let's just do that. Somehow all the X's just don't seem like they'd be they're overused. So we're going to change all this. We're going to keep this guy, the test equipment log. Okay, keep that. Now we're going to test process. So here, test plan document. There we go. So basically, we're going to put the actual file name for the test plan in there. Supporting schematic. We're going to put that in there. Supporting. What am I doing? Okay. I hate that. Let's actually unmerge cells. Go and get rid of this for now. I hate undoing all this, but so that's light blue 2. Let's go and do that. All right. Get rid of that. All right. All right, so we gotta unmerge all these cells. All right, that is fine. Supporting bill of materials. Okay, so let's go ahead and cancel. Wrong button. All right. Okay, let's get this going here. For ourselves, we're gonna do border. All right. So fill that back with a light blue too. I like that. Plug, okay, we'll keep that the same. We might kind of clean that up. That's fine. Depending on how we do down here. This way we can put the documentation that supports the project and have user reference to it. So that's one of the things I was kind of thinking about. That way it's in here. So we have these sections here. We're going to clear contents. Okay. Oh. So date and test tech. Test 5. Okay. All right. So date. Merge them guys. So we're going to do again, this is zeros by date. All right. Boom. Boom. Right. Do that. All right. Let's just kind of make sure everything is kind of. All right. On my border. I like the borders. Okay. I'll be kind of getting that. Let's go here. On merge cells. Merge cells. All right. Let's kind of like leave this alone. Well. All right. Okay. So now kind of go through and do our test headings or test sections. So we'll just kind of pull off of this. I'll move this out of the way. So we're just kind of all right. I think we'll add the functional requirements checklist to the actual okay, so that would be that. Test section 1. 1 through 5. Test section 2. Bam. 3. Four. And so now functional requirements checklist. Found on from the I think that's in the PRD. The project's PRD. So we're going to want to So what we're going to need to do is come up here. So let's push over there. D, there you go. That way we can have all the supporting documentation in here. That way, if there's questions about the test log, what we were referring to, it's all right here. So, all right. So that would be that. Okay. So again, this is like just a blank template that we'll go in and fill out and make it specifically to the actually, you know what? Let's do that. Let's do something here. Let's kind of do this. Merge cells. Come here. All right, we're going to merge cells. Yeah, we'll have to fix that. QA dash 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. Let's go and bold that. Let's go 10 point. All right, let's go and do that. 10 point. Merge cells. We're going to currently say for Rev 2. Okay, form Q. Okay, what form it's from, the form revision. Technically, we'll call it revision 2 because it is revised from the original. Alrighty then. So now we've got that saved in the test log. So let's go to the project. Okay. So that's just the form. Oh, we need to do something here too. File. Recent documents. Master documents list. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 2. Right. Let me grab the other file and do this for QA 2 dash That's X. Technically. Okay. All right, so that's the template. Okay. Okay. All right, so okay. So one of the things I want to do then is here, we're going to create a new folder. Come on, create the folder. Quit complaining to me. X. There we go. So we're going to rename, grab that. Okay. Vision test log. That's it. Oh. Okay, so all right, so that is the documents list updated for the new file. So we're going to file, go ahead and save it. Save as. Save as. Test log. Should be, wait a minute. Document 2. So I need to reopen that. Recent documents. Here. Oh, that's 2. Okay, there we go. Now we got it. So that's document 2. Are you kidding me? I literally opened the wrong, I closed the wrong file. Test log. Okay, so we need to do then here. So prior to testing, project number 101. Okay. To project ESP32. There we go. Okay, that sounds more plan. Okay. Okay, so we have this document number right here. Supporting test plan document. There. All right. So. So here is copy of the little things to jump through. Templates. Rename. And we'll see copy of the Don't really need that. Copy the to the all right. We will get it. To the flash songs longs. Name it to yeah. Yeah, we'll go through and update some things. Let's get this name. Name it to okay. So that's what we're gonna name it to. So we'll go to the test log. We're going to name it blank, but we'll... well, and top right section of form. File. So what we'll do, have all this filled out. And what we'll do is duplicate the sheet. Okay. Is it renaming the sheet or the tab? Rename sheet. Rename the new sheet to the tested. Duplicate. For all. And the testing. All right. So this way we have a process kind of already built in, and it's a good start to that. That way, you know, with test log, we can have, you know, basically one sheet for each piece, each serial number of PCB. We will get to there. This we can fill out and take care of, but we can kind of pre-fill some of this stuff because we already know it. All right, so we have some stuff in code. I'm going to move this out of the way because this one would be copying from. So functional requirements checklist. Need to go here. I'm going to actually just create a whole. Requirements. Well, yeah, okay, I can't spell. Well. All right, and that was what? Heading and bold, and I think what 16 point. All right, I forgot the unbold 14 point, right? Or 10, 12 point. 12 point. And these are visual visual confirmation. Is a note on the visual confirmation item only. So we got that. test plan document. All right, so we've got that PRD. Right now, let's not plan on where's the PRD? Over here. Rename. Boy. All right. We're just going to kind of do that. Because we kind of, are breaking things, but that's fine. It's long. So we can already do this. Copy it around by here. Board revision is 2. Don't worry about that. We'll get those filled in here later. Okay, PRD. Let's get back to this guy. A lot of stuff. We'll just keep these the same. Should 7. All right. All right. Right. I need to probably paste that up here. No. See. Copy and paste where I can. All right, so we have that stuff. Bump, 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 bump. All right, test section 1. Now, the test plan. All right, so test section 1 is over here. Yep. Just basically, all right, project design document. So what we can do. All right, let's not fill that. Let's unmerge. No, that's fine. All right. Nothing too terribly special, but that's fine. Wonder if wonder if this would do anything. No, you can't do that. No. Thought maybe we could merge those two together, but apparently can't. So the design documentation, yeah, where does it? Okay, that would be in here. On the applicable IPC. Following IPC. Class 2. IPC. Okay. Okay, for visual inspection. Okay, there. Okay, yes. Test section 1. Dash 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Assembly. All right. So test section 1 is very brief, very simple. So we're just gonna go ahead and kind of delete rows we don't need. Keep just one in there to kind of act as a filler in case we need it. Don't think so. Okay. So test section 2 is prior to power up. This is going to be where a lot of the resistance measurements all right. A lot of points to measure, but we've got to do them. Okay. If any of the... Wait a minute. Did something get changed? Oh, 14. How in the world? 12. All right. Any of the following tests have a failure condition up and oh my god, I don't know which one's a bigger failure. They don't even know what I was trying to spell there. Failure condition stop, which is okay, I'll probably correct it. If a problem is not please elevate to direct for next steps. All right. That way we don't have to be too terribly wordy. Wait a minute, did we already do that? Yeah, we already have that up there. We don't. Yeah, we don't need, let's not. We've got it right here. This is one of the things I kind of forgot about too, with the whole ISO thing, is there's actually a section. One of the requirements covers basically competency and training and qualifications of employees. I can't remember the exact clause off the top of my head, but basically it covers things like training. So employees that are doing the work would get trained properly and it would be logged appropriately. So like for testing like this, they would be trained to stop and, try to solve the problem and go to the supervisor. That's just part of the job. So, while I have seen it before, you do need to spell it out, but also I don't want this to be too wordy. It gets to be a little bit crazy to follow when it's too wordy. I just don't like that. So I don't want it to be too wordy, and I'm not going to have it. Well, I believe that, you should spell out as much as you can. Sometimes it just gets too wordy and too busy. So this is the prior to power up stuff. So this is all of the items, required material. So put in here. Meter. Voltage and resistance. Ugh. Future. All right, so test section 2, TS2-1. Oh, I'm going to need TPs. Oh, no. So I'm going to need all the test points because some of them may have changed when we... Good thing is we've got this beautiful index right here. All right. Just drag it off the screen here. Minimize this. Okay. No, wait, what? I don't want the... Oh, it's not going to let me copy and paste. Why? No, no, no. Unformatted text. Oh, do I really have to do that every time? Oh, all right. No. Okay. TP1, 3.3 volt, and TP3 ground, and verify the resistance is greater than 5K. Yep. Oh yeah, there's gonna be a lot. Control Alt Shift V. Huh. Okay. See, also with the markdown, it was hard to tell that I had some really screwed up stuff. So it's TP2, 5 volt. Okay, okay, okay. All right. Yeah. See how inconsistent I've been? Yeah, there's no space there, but there's a space here. Nope. Yeah, so that really shows you how. Okay, so it's TP4, RX, and TP7, ground. Okay, all that's the same. So that's pretty much what this is going to be. Now, yeah, see? Inconsistencies. Oh. So TP5 is 45 direction. TP7 is ground. Yes. So yeah, I know it seems to be a pain in the rear. I mean, it's more of a problem because I'm going to converting from Markdown language to Word document. Basically, if I had started in a Word document, it'd be a little bit easier. Now I've just got to basically everything copied over here and get it formatted, which will take some time. And I probably will do it off camera to avoid boring you. Although, because there's plenty of other documentation that we can kind of work out. We have the test plan. There's a couple other little things we might be able to do. Maybe we could convert the PRD, convert the other documents over. Again, my thought process with a Markdown because it's available, easy to run, easy to use, but I just like the formatting abilities of Excel and, basically these type of programs. So, yeah, it was my bad for using Markdown to begin with, but I was just, my thought process was in a different place, trying to make things easier, but actually made things more difficult. But that's the way it is. I should have just stuck to the way I normally do things. But there's a bunch of other things I think we can take care of. There's still quality management stuff to do. There's other processes we can clean up because we have a bunch of stuff in the QMS. We could clean up. We start breaking the approved suppliers list. We can break all that in. Start with these this serial number creations and stuff, kind of get all of them organized a little bit better. SOPs, kind of start getting all this kind of cleaned over and put in. So there's a bunch of little things we can do. I'm not terribly worried. It's not like we won't have videos to cover until materials to cover until I could build the Rev 2 board. There's still plenty of documentation. And we could even start on getting some initial rough drafting of the documentation for the end user. What's, basically the documentation the unit's going to ship with. So there's, like I said, there's still plenty of stuff to do. And that's why, real projects are better with a team rather than just one person. Trying to do this all on your own, it's a long, difficult road. It really is. There's just too many things to handle, too many things to do. Obviously, you can tell all the stuff we've been jumping through. But to successfully take a project, to take an idea from, oh, hey, look, I did something cool on a breadboard. I like it. My friends like it. I have a need for this. I think there's a need for it. Maybe the world will like it. To go from that stage to something serious that you want to actually sell, it's not an easy road. It isn't, especially if you don't have experience doing any of this type of stuff. Fortunately, I'm fortunate that I do have the experience working for companies that, have developed their own products and, manufacture and put them on the market themselves. So I have that experience, and the ISO experience, the project management experience, and all that other stuff. So I'm fortunate to have that experience. And I think that's one of the things that's kind of muddling me up is there's so many things I know need to be taken care of. But there are things that I believe that if you're going to do this seriously, you need to consider before jumping in and, jumping in with both feet and being caught by surprise when there's, when things go wrong or things go pear-shaped. The best preventative medicine for any of that is preparation. Is just taking the time to document, to get everything together, to have your plans, to have proofs that you did something to generate these artifacts, because these files serve as artifacts, proof that, hey, I tested stuff and, I did the best I could to make sure my product worked as I advertise it to, as I intended. These are my proofs, So that's why I believe all this is important. It's just, and I think a lot of, I'm going to be frank, a lot of content creators I've seen make it seem easy because, they hide all the hard work, all the effort behind short little videos. They hide all of what actually goes into it behind, curated, predefined video length moments. And that's all you see. They don't show you all the effort that went into it before. Some creators will do a project and they'll create this thing. They'll record all the videos, do all the super editing, and then they release everything all at once. But it's already been done. The product's already on the market. They're already building it. And you just see all the resulting effort that they put into it, but not the actual effort. You see in the end results, but not the effort. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to do this series, is just to show the effort. It's not that easy, because I think sometimes we make mistakes thinking something's going to be easy. That easy demon I've mentioned before. It's going to be easy. I can do this. I'm just going to send it. We're just going to go for it. And I believe sometimes that can be your worst enemy and create some of the worst nightmares you've ever run into. There's nothing worse than working on something and not being prepared to answer the hard questions, especially if you're doing something for a customer. If you've ever been in that position where you're in a customer meeting and they ask a hard question you have answers to, that deer in headlights look that you have with the customer is never good. Most customers do not like the answers, I don't know. They don't like it. So if you're going to do something like this more seriously to do for other people rather than yourself, you want to do as much of this type of work as you can. As much of the documentation, as much of the paperwork, as much of the planning as you can. Follow real project management techniques. And again, I'm going to have videos out on this. I'm still planning on releasing videos. My trajectory has shifted a little bit on what I want to do, my goals. Work is picked up, but I still want to release 3 additional videos, all related to the same thing, but different aspects of it. They're not going to be on Twitch. There's just too much to cover, and I would be able to work on them more at my leisure, on my time frame, than being tied to a Twitch streaming schedule. So, and then I can just record them as I want, as I really want to work on that project. Sometimes with this project, I feel like I'm holding myself back because I want to do the streams, and I'd rock it along and be jamming on this project like every day for hours sometimes. That's how I work with my own projects at home. I'll just sink my teeth into them, and I can spend a whole weekend working on a project and just getting it, doing it. So yeah, so the 3 video series I'm still planning is the main project itself. Then one is the project management, basically from start to finish. It's like basically we're going to go through that project. So a lot of things are going to be kind of tied together, but the project management videos pretty much series is going to be the project management for that project. And then the QMS development of basically getting the QMS stuff more formalized for the Magic Forge and more in depth. So there's just too much to cover. And it'll cover a lot of this stuff that we covered here, but basically starting from scratch, that's what we're going to assume. And those videos are going to be kind of weirdly released because of how they're tied together. So my plan is to start recording some of them, get a small backlog of each of them, and just release one of each during the week, each week. Basically, a weekly schedule with just one video of each series per week on different days. That way I have a backlog of them for if I get too busy with my job, my day job, because this is going to be a big project, a huge undertaking, and there's a lot of material that's going to need to be covered. But back to this current project, there's just so much still to do. But yeah, if you're going to do something like this on your own, with your own company, go take some classes on project management. You can find all kinds of good videos on the methodologies involved. But please don't get lulled into a sense of compliance, and don't let the easy demon sit in your shoulder and whisper in your ear saying, "Oh, it's gonna be easy. Do it this way. Skip these steps," because in the end, you're gonna pay for it. And wasted time, wasted money, wasted effort, possibly upset clients if you do it for customers. So yeah. So that is going to be it for today's video, because there's still a lot of stuff. I'm going to try to get the test plan converted over from Markdown language into the new format off camera. Because like I said, the other videos, there's plenty of other stuff we could do on camera that won't make you sit there and want to punch yourselves in the face and run away in fear. Like I said, we could get some of those other things converted over. That would be a lot easier and quicker to do. There's also another little sub project I wanted to do under this, and maybe we'll tackle it. Maybe. Was a standalone test fixture for the fans. Because when we assemble the fans that are going to go in the case, I want to have a way to be able to test them, make sure they operate properly before requiring one of these assemblies to work. Because, they'll be thrown into the enclosure, they're going to get screwed into there, and then, they'll become kind of a semi-permanent part of the fixture of the unit when it's all said and done. So I'm thinking maybe a standalone fan tester that also supports the 3 and 4 pin fans for computers. Why not? It wouldn't take any additional effort to throw in there. So I'd have maybe 3 connectors on the board. The little JST 4-pin connector that we're using for our fans to test that for this project. 4-pin like a terminal block, like a spring-loaded or something, maybe just a simple screw-down terminal block or something, so you can just have wires from a fan. And then the 4-pin connector that you actually find on computer fans that have the power supply, the TAC, and the PWM values, so you can test just the TAC only or the fully controllable fans that have a PWM ability. So I'm thinking about doing something like that can operate off of like a little 12-volt power adapter, because most computer fans run off 12 volts. So I'm thinking about doing that for a project that's kind of a co-project to this. So maybe we can kind of take a slight deviation from this or work on that project, because I'm going to need that basically for the launch of this, so I have some way to test those fans. Yeah, I could test them with a modified board, but that's no fun. Why? Why limit ourselves to that when we can do something perhaps a little bit cooler? So that's what we're going to go with. Maybe we'll start that project in the next video just for something different to kind of deviate, start another little design, maybe kind of handle it documentation too, because it's going to need testing and stuff. But again, it's something I'm going to want and need for this. So that might be kind of fun. So thanks for hanging out with me this afternoon. I really appreciate it, and we will catch you later, hopefully tomorrow evening, but if work is too busy, I won't be able to, but we'll see. Take care and have a nice one.